Okay, so good morning everybody. This is the Environmental and Community Services Committee meeting, 14th of July. We're starting 6 minutes late, so 10:36. So first one, applications for attending meeting video via video link.
Yes, Madam Chair, we've received an application from Councillor Stolz to join the meeting via video link, but I understand he's having trouble with that at the moment.
We'll come back to that one. So apologies.
Nil received.
Disclosures of interest.
Nil.
Public participation. Yes,
Madam Chair, we have Jane Ryan speaking against the recommendation for DA 44 of 2026 for change of use to a wine bar, including alterations and additions at 191 and 199 Kelly Street, Scone. But I understand that may be in relation to the conditions rather than the actual recommendation. We also have Jennifer Vag speaking in relation to DA 64 of 2026 for construction of 2 sheds at 52 Tullong Road, Middlebrook. And Ms Vag is for the recommendation.
Thank you. So, Ms Ryan, would you like to come and speak to yours, please? Is that mic on? Up to there.
Hello.
Yep.
I left my glasses at home.
Would you like to borrow mine?
No, it's fine. I am not against the application, but I just would like to request a review of the section S64 contribution of $42,036.78. We're just trying to understand what that is. I believe it's around stormwater and sewerage. So it was an unexpected cost, although we are very grateful for the waiver of the additional fee for the lack of the 5 parking spaces. So we are grateful for that. But if we could just understand what that $42,000 is for, and is there any way to negotiate or potentially reduce that fee. Of course, we're always happy to contribute to infrastructure and what is widely needed in the community. But my understanding in terms of the stormwater is that the space that we have is impervious, and so we have runoff that will be going into the stormwater, and that will not change because the roof that's being built over the additional construction doesn't change the area. So we're just trying to understand what that cost is and how it's calculated. Matt just did mention to me that it does include sewerage as well, so we would just like to understand what that is, because what we are doing as the developer for that development is doing a storage pit to reduce water flow, so to capture stormwater and then release it at a slower rate, so it actually improves the runoff. And understanding that there is a number of shops sort of from the Coles loading dock really to the corner of Liverpool Street, sort of the Australia Post end, where there would be runoff that happens. So is that $42,000 for updating additional infrastructure, and would it just be in line with our allotment, or is it greater infrastructure where we would not be the only beneficiaries of that? So if it was for a greater infrastructure, could it be considered that this calculation is a proportionate payment? So you can tell I don't really know a huge amount about it. I have written some bits and pieces, and I'm happy I've provided them for you to review. Our preference would be that the development application, and we do appreciate that the submission is being supported, and we're very grateful for that, because we really do want to invest in our community long term. That if this could be still could move forward with an approval, not necessarily subject to, but that a side consideration would be made for this cost, and just an understanding for us to understand how it's calculated and what it means.
Okay, thank you for that. First of all, I think there are 2 things, and I think Mr Pringle will speak to this, but you've got DA, which is what we're looking at today, and then you've got those costs. So we can actually look at the DA separate to those costs.
Great.
Right. Are there any questions? No. Mr Pringle, did you want to just speak to that first?
Yep. Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. So the Section 64 contributions that are referred to in the report, they relate to
I
water
can
and sewer
see.
contributions, also known as water and sewer headworks charges. So they're actually part of a separate approval process under the Water Management Act. So, sorry if Councillor Stoll's online. So you apply for what's called a notice of requirements to council separately. And in the notice of requirements, that will spell out what water and sewer contributions are payable and any other water and sewer upgrades that are required in the development. So the water and sewer contributions goes towards, I guess, headworks. So upgrading council infrastructure in the future to accommodate the increased demand for water and increased wastewater going into our system. Obviously that has an impact on council infrastructure down the line, at our sewage treatment plant, pump station, so on. So it's a contribution that we collect that goes towards those upgrades in the future.
Are you across that?
Yes.
Yep.
So does that mean that that is that fixed cost for us and that there is no wriggle room for that?
So through you, Madam Chair, it's based on some guidelines that we use to determine the amount of wastewater that this proposal would generate. So based on the number of consumers in the facility, and also the amount of water that you'd be consuming for this type of development. So we use what's called the Water Directorate guidelines, and that sets out different rates for different types of land uses. So we apply those rates to come up with a figure. It is possible to, I guess, come back and provide evidence that this development would not be generating that amount of wastewater or consuming that amount of water, and put that, I guess, evidence to council for consideration as part of the notice of requirements process.
Okay.
Okay, so today we'll concern ourselves with the DA, and I assume you're for that. And so,
Yes.
and the separate conversation about costing can go on at
Great.
at the same time.
Lovely.
Okay, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
I think we'll just go back to applications for attending meetings. So, Mr. Stoltz, you're on board here. So, could I have a mover? Thank you, Councillor Clout, seconded by Councillor McGill. All in favour? Aye. So we will allow him in, which he's already in. So great.
Morning, thank you.
Nice to see you, sir. Ms. Bagg, would you like to speak to yours, please? So it says here that you are for. This is for our second item, which is the construction of 2 sheds.
Hi.
Hi.
Just wondering, with the second shed, I don't think there's a problem with shed 1.
Correct.
But shed 2, it's big, but we need that amount of space to bring all our stuff down.
Thank you.
Our cars and the machinery that we've got on the property as well. So if we can't have it, what can we have?
We would actually, and thank you for showing us the site
That's
today.
okay.
Would there be any consideration of changing the aspect of the shed? Because what we saw with all the other houses in that area, you've got your sheds which are going lengthwise, which may actually reduce the concern of neighbours about the kind of the size of it. Is that something that you would be interested in?
Could be, yeah,
working
if you
with us
put it,
on?
you mean on the driveway side?
Like lengthways as
Yeah.
opposed to widthways?
Yeah,
and
have
that
to
way,
be on the driveway side though.
yes,
Yeah.
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 So I don't know, that might be a consideration, but in order to for us to kind of come up with a solution, it might be that we defer it for today so there can be more conversations, as opposed to saying yes to one part or no
Yeah.
to all.
Yep.
So would you be comfortable if we looked at doing that, deferred that, and just tried to come up with a better solution?
Yep,
Okay.
that's fine, thank you.
That's not for me to decide, but that might be something that we can think about.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you so much.
thank
Jenny.
you.
Just
Yep. Do you have
What is
questions?
there?
Yep. Sorry.
as I understand it, the long-term plan is to build a second dwelling in front of the shed. Is that correct?
Correct, a small one,
Yep.
like a granny flat size.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Would it? Through Mr Pringle, would it behove if they did the two applications at once and then the setback would fall into line?
Through you, Madam Chair, I guess that's something the applicant could consider.
Yeah, thank you.
So we put the same DA in for the house at the same time? Is that what you're saying?
That's a suggestion, but
Yes.
That's up to you. That's one.
if we decided to defer today, there are things that we could talk about so that we can
Okay.
come up with a solution for that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks so much for your time. Any more questions? No? It's always really helpful when you go out and look at the sites, I think. So we had site inspections. Did you want to go through those today, Mr Pringle? We had 2 site inspections. We went and saw both of these items that are up today. So we went up and had a look at the wine bar, and we went and had a look at the site for these 2 sheds. And I think it's always really helpful to have a look and talk to those people who actually have got their hearts very much attached to these projects. So we'll get to the items of business. So ECSC.07.1. So this is change of use to wine bar, including alterations, additions and demolition. Do I have a mover? Thank you, Councillor Clout. Second, Councillor McGill. Anyone like to speak to this? Councillor McGill?
$1.3 million investment, that shows a lot of confidence, and good luck to you. Well done. My only other comment would be there's 4 pubs in Scone, only 2 of which are operating. There's 2 liquor shops, there's 2 clubs. There's a lot of drinking going on, but this will be up for the liquor licensing authorities to decide whether this is appropriate from that angle. But in terms of the DA and what they're proposing with the building, I see no problems.
I think you'll find that they close the pubs and take the licences away. So we may not have as many licences as you think in the town.
Yep.
But I think this is a very bold but fantastic vision, and I hope it goes well. So could I please see who's for this project? Councillor Stoltz, where are you? Have you got your hand up or not? Yep, so it's conclusive, so it's passed. So good luck with it. So our second item is DA 64/2026, so ECSC.07.2. So as we said, we saw 2 sheds. We have had some pushback from neighbours about this. There was a recommendation that we do a partial consent. Understanding, speaking to Mr Pringle, that we can't do a partial consent and then ask to defer. We have to defer all of it, say no to all of it, or partially agree to it. So I would put up a suggestion that we defer, because I think going out and speaking to the proponents and looking at some possible other solutions, it might give us an opportunity to kind of maybe come up with a better solution that is amenable to everybody. Is that something that I would get support on?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Yep. So anyone wish to speak to or against this project?
Just to clarify, the recommendation is that we defer the whole thing rather than
Yes.
partial,
Correct.
because partial would fail, or?
Do you want to just explain to me?
Yep, through you, Madam Chair. So the recommendation from staff is to grant partial consent just for shed 1 because of our concerns with shed 2. However, understand that the motion before you currently is to defer the application pending the submission of further information to address council's concerns.
Okay. So do we have a vote for that? Your second? So Councillor Clout, are you happy to move that? Seconded by Councillor McGill. All in favour? It's carried. Okay. So I hope, Ms Bagg, you're happy with that. It just means we've got more opportunity to discuss better solutions and not to just refuse it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will conclude